he cross the line?
His wife up for grabs.
Hey, he's been mad disrespectful.
She's laughing.
Did you get Larry? Did you get the address?
I got the address. Yeah.
Hey, don't be mad disrespectful. Come on,
I'm
man.
good.
Listen, I know we streaming,
What are you
nigga.
doing with your hands, bro?
This
What are you doing with your hands?
this
you ready,
nigga.
Hey, you ready for them 100 gifted? 200
This
gifted?
nigga.
Listen.
You ready for them 200 gifted? Whoa! Whoa, 200 gifted.
That felt good.
Hey, Dean.
After all night getting shit on.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that fucking moment.
Dean. Hey, gift him 100 for me, nigga.
Yo, that's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, is it any different from the Will Smith flap? But you know, we gotta unpack this because there's a lot going on here. So listen, off the rip, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. This is rough because there's a lot of leading up to it, right? And I'll probably cover this, or I may have covered this by the time this drops in a previous live stream I might do before the big live stream. Anyway, you know, all night, Dean the Great, I think this is his name, was flirting with Larry Reel's wife. This is after that little viral clip of Larry Reel's spinning him around like a toddler and throwing him in the gym when they had a little back and forth, you know, a little sparring session, you know, the lightweight UFC fighter versus the 300-pound bodybuilder. Larry Reels is phenomenally strong. That's, you know, even with, you know, being 300 pounds, there's plenty of stuff he's done, plenty of feats, plenty of mishaps, even when that, you know, for anyone that's been in a gym consistently, the time I think he was either his chest, you know, his pec tore or his bicep tore. You see stuff like that, you're like, he's moving a lot of weight. But the point is, this is his wife, the supermodel wife, who, if the internet is to believe, was openly flirting with Rampage Jackson, and Rampage flirted back, but you know, Larry Reels didn't slap him. But Dean the Great went as far as asking, like, over dinner, was she into threesomes, and right in front of Larry Reels. I think this is one of those issues where there's a clear lack of respect. One, maybe because the cameras and streaming is you want to be salacious as possible, but you get to do that to a point, up to a point where a man's going to say, okay, whatever, now this is a level of disrespect. I'm willing to look at everything I've built, look at everything I've done, and I'm willing to risk that. You can use it as you use protecting his wife. You can use it as disrespect, whatever the way you want to look at it. It comes a point in time when the rest of us, and I think most of the internet is looking like, yo, you had that coming. You had that coming. When you openly disrespect a man, you know, a man's wife, right? You're right in front of her face doing all this, you know, this back and forth, this flirting, even if she is going along with it. Men, we all understand that there's a level of violence that we're not that far removed from. If you want to take that risk and you want to continue to flirt with another man's wife in front of his face, you have to be ready for this. And like my good friend says, weight classes exist for a reason. And I know you could be trained, but there is a difference when there's that amount of muscle, and it's not as if he's completely devoid of technique. It was a proper slap. But in a civilized society, we got to look at a couple of different things. And you know, I'll try to cover this a little more in depth. But there are plenty of detractors of saying, you knew what type of woman you married. I think he's 10 years her junior. I think they met in Dubai. And she's flat out saying, I think someone asked her a question, if he didn't have money, would you be with him? And that's a popular question to ask people's wives for whatever reason. And she completely said, if he did not have money, we never would have met. It's an honest response. And I think a good question would be, when you are in this position as, you know, this woman's husband, or as a husband, a boyfriend, we talk about protection a lot, in the sense of you want to be able to physically protect, you know, your wife, your kids, whomever, your family. But I think we are very, very, very flippant. We don't do enough of our due diligence. We see with our eyes and we make decisions based on that. Larry Reels is like on record, you know, admitting he had like a cam girl addiction. So when you're looking for someone to be your potential spouse, you probably should look at character before you really just sit there and consider the looks. Don't let looks be the thing that drives you over the edge. Don't let someone's desire for attention be the thing that makes it the deciding factor. You should look at these qualities and say, will I ever be in a position where I have to do something like this? And I'm not saying she at all. Let's get something very clear. I'm not saying that she's the cause of him doing that. Not at all. But we all have been around, especially in the Black community, plenty of women that understand how to shut a man down and really stop this. This flirting, this is obvious. Even if it's on camera, stop this, or I'm just going to remove myself from this thing. Whatever is going on here, whatever you guys doing for the stream, for kick, cool, whatever, I'm gone. I'm not going to let you openly flirt with me and disrespect my husband in front of my face. This is part of this protection, and we often look at it just from the male point of view, where the man is supposed to be the one that's protecting. Women also protect you as well, understanding how the male ego is. They remove themselves, or they can know how to calm things down before it escalates to that, to that position to that point where now blows are being thrown back and forth. This is part of what you want, when you're picking someone that you want to help raise your kids. You want to be by your side for the rest of your life. Someone that understands and reads the room and says, this is going to escalate. This is a powder keg. The best thing I can do is remove myself from this. If you guys are going to come to blows, I'm not going to be the easy excuse. Before this happens, any of this happens, she's already pulled him aside, and this is what, ideally, what I would like to see. She already pulled him aside and said, listen, this is what's going on. I see with my own eyes. Maybe if you don't see it, but I do, I'm going to excuse myself. I'm going to leave. This is how you want it. You need to make your money. You need to make your money. But me being here is not going to help you. It's not going to help your reputation, and it may endanger everything you've built, because that young gentleman doesn't understand the rules of the game, or is clearly violating any type of pro code you guys are supposed to have going on. Rampage Jackson is not helping the scenario at all. If you see some of the longer clips, he's playing both sides, right? He's openly laughing in Dean the Great's face about getting slapped. He even does like a whole karaoke bit about it later on. But none of this is where you want to find yourself. None of this is where you want to think that you're safe. And this is for Larry rules, right? You don't want to think this is the company you should be keeping. People that are easily going to exploit how you're moving, because make no mistake about this exploitation. Hey, they're doing it for subs, they're doing it for attention, and we're talking about it. And you are the focal point. You are the focal point. You, and now your relationship with your wife is the focal point. And now everyone is looking at that with a fine-tooth comb and understanding. All right, yeah, she's quote unquote a supermodel. You met in Dubai. You don't have a prenup. Hey, you're 10 years younger than her. Now all the other stuff about you is sort of coming out, and they're dissecting everything you guys have done together on stream. They're dissecting when she's on camera, Rampage Jackson, the way she's looking at him, dissecting the way she has trouble answering whether or not she's into the man or not. And you're there all the time, and they're looking at your body language, they're looking at how you're moving, and saying, you look hella uncomfortable. So yeah, maybe the slap was, right, satisfying, as you said. But at what cost? I think the better way, most of the time, I think most people that are trained, most people that have any real experience with when it comes down to altercations, they know the best thing you do is not be involved with it at all. Now, listen, there's completely a chance that this entire thing is staged, right? This whole thing is staged, and then we're all just kind of like feeding into it. I hope that's the case, because that's an easier thing for you to walk back from. But you may think otherwise. But feel free, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen right now, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those videos in those videos. And of course, if you're listening to my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. I'm just trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.